Hi, Mr. Mayor.
How are you doing?
Good.
Good.
Last week, you were talking about when you went in the subways with the NYPD to see what they were doing, and you said that one thing you didn't see them do was engage with people who needed help, people who appear to be homeless, people who appear to be in mental distress. And you also said that under the previous administration, there had been a program in which officers were doing more of that with a team of social workers. I wonder, what kind of model would you like to see? I know we have Scout. Do you want to see an expansion of that? Would you like to see the officers themselves trained in doing that kind of work? We had Chief Shell was on WNYC yesterday, and he said what happens is, they're rotating cops who don't usually tour the subways. They're not used to that. So, it's new for them. And then my second question is, I know you talked to Mayor Bloomberg quite a bit, and I'm wondering if the two of you have ever discussed riding the subways every day to work, because that was something that he did. And I think it was very popular with New Yorkers. It was a very popular gesture. It was like that he was riding to work the same way so many other New Yorkers do. And I thought, the fact that congestion pricing is coming up, it would kind of be a very powerful example to New Yorkers.
So let's peel that back. First, the previous administration disbanded what was called the Homeless Outreach Unit. There were a lot of noise from the advocates, and a lot of administrations, when people yell at them, they all of a sudden move away, even if something is working. I don't operate that way. Homeless Outreach Unit was a good concept. They saw the homeless every day. They built trust. They were able to move them out of the system. We put back, and Ann can go into what we did on how to use a combination of mental health professionals, outreach workers, law enforcement personnel, all of them combined together, because you have to ensure the safety. Oftentimes people don't realize that you have to ensure the safety of outreach workers, because some of those who are experiencing severe mental health illness, some can get violent. And you never want to put a civilian in the atmosphere where they could be harmed in any way. And so we put this combination together, had thousands of interactions. We're seeing some success, and we're going to continue. We want to expand on something. And the commissioner gave me an idea that I think is really brilliant. I'm going to let him announce it himself. But we are continue to evolve on how do we go into the subway system. I said this over and over, and I'm going to say it again. We're dealing with three issues: recidivism, those with severe mental health issues, random acts of violence. You take those three issues off of our plate, you guys will have a challenge or something to write about. It's the same action. The person who pushed the person on the subway track was a recidivist. He was dealing with severe mental health. It was a random act of violence. You hear that cadence over and over and over again. And so we are approaching each one of those pieces. We're fighting to say, let's stop the recidivism. Judges have to step up and do the job that they should be doing. And we're going to be looking at some other things. My counsel, Lisa, is going to be looking at some other things that we could really go after recidivism. Dr. Fasan and Ann are looking at these severe mental health issues. We keep leaning into that. People told us, remember when we started? They said, don't do it, Eric. It's unpopular. You're never going to win it. Everybody's going to hate you. We said we're going to do it anyway. It was the right thing to do. And we're doing the right thing right now. And lastly, random acts of violence. We have to really stop these random acts of violence. They could be a small number, but they would suck all of the oxygen out of the room. Because it is traumatizing to be on a platform and reading that someone was shoved to the tracks. It's traumatizing for someone to punch a woman in her face as she's walking down the block, just enjoying her city. These random acts of violence, as small as they are traumatizing New Yorkers, and we must continue to zero in on them.
And my second question, would you ride the subway to work every day?
Listen, I love riding the subway. I enjoy it a lot. Not only do I do it during the daytime, I'm out there 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And not a lot of mayors do that. And so when you look at my schedule, those of you who follow my schedule, and some of you have to follow my schedule, you need a whole 2 days off to sleep, because my schedule is so full. And I'm all over the city, half an hour interviews. I'm at places. And if I could do it, taking the subway to all those locations, I would love to. But every half an hour, my team, Gladys Miranda, who handles all of this stuff, I'm constantly engaging with New Yorkers, moving throughout the city, and it's a very full schedule. So I got to be realistic, not only idealistic.